Love when a plan works. You know, I talk about, you know, using the jerk shads, the Damiki rigs quite often. And it's one of my favorite ways to fish. Not only for bass, but for walleyes, pike, lake trout, panfish even. You know, all these fish are predators. They all eat bait fish. And so, you know, a jerk shad like that's kind of as good of a imitator of a bait fish as anything. So it's awesome when a plan comes together. I'm gonna tell you all about how I rig up to fish jerk shads, fish Damiki rigs, and tell you how it's done. Couple things, most important, bait's got to be on there nice and straight. That's a Z-Man 4-inch jerk shad, and you can see perfectly straight. If it's bent or kinked when you're reeling it in, it's gonna twirl, spiral, not gonna look good, and it's gonna twist your line. So you want it on there nice and straight. I use a dab of super glue so you can see, you know, that bait's not coming off. And when you miss, sometimes you get, we call them drive-bys, but you'll get a bite where they don't, I think they come and hit it with their mouth closed and hit it sometimes. So when you go to check set it, you're not pulling your bait down all the times. Often you can just drop it back down and the fish will bite it. You can see where my knot is. They're totally up and down vertical. Sometimes when you miss a bite or you catch a fish, the knot will get pulled to the front, and then it's gonna sit like that, not look as natural. So you always want that knot to be, you know, straight like that. When it comes to tackle, spinning gear is the way to go for doing this. I'm pretty spoiled. This is a NRX 872, so a 7.3 kind of medium action rod. I like to have a little bit of length, just to have a quick pickup. This is obviously a very sensitive rod. Line, 10-pound Power Pro, 10-pound fluoro leader, and that's pretty much what I use all the time. And it's a pretty easy setup. You know, just regular, that's a Shimano Accent spinning reel, but I like the yellow braid, easy to see. I can see if my jig hits the bottom, I can see bites when the bait's falling, and that's pretty much it for getting out there and doing the Damiki rig and stuff. One last thing, I catch a lot of fish, obviously getting on top of them, vertical, looking at them on my electronics, but you can also cast these around, swim them around, especially with the forward sonar now. You can see fish that are out in front of you, so that's just another way to cast that bait out, reel it in, and try to keep your rod as still as possible. You don't need to move that bait around a whole lot. Make it look like a natural minnow just gliding through the water column.